Welcome back to the Marching to Madness College Basketball Podcast with Coastal Carolina head coach Cliff Ellis, who has over 800 wins in his career at Coastal, Auburn, Clemson, and South Alabama. He's in his 15th season at Coastal, and you're closing in on 300 wins, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that. A lot of good players and, a lot of coaches that have made a big difference in my life. And so I've been blessed, Ken.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what have been some of the keys or the key ways that you and your staff have been able to move forward with the Chanticleers in your 15 seasons?
Well, first of all, I think it comes with understanding who you are, what your university is about, and it gets down to recruiting kids that fit the system that you want to apply with your program. I know the first couple of years were kind of rough, but it took time to build that system. It had been one winning season, I think, in 15 years when we took over, and we had a couple of tough years after that. And but then we started rolling and built up some, I think, valuable experience within our league at the time. When we came in, we were in the Big South. Winthrop was the team that really was the dominant team in 2007. And when we left in 2016, Coastal Carolina was pretty much the dominant team. So we built that through recruiting. Our staff worked hard. We also wanted to make sure we were getting the right people. And I think when you do win championships, you're getting the right people in. So, but we've transferred to the Sun Belt Conference, and the Sun Belt Conference is totally different now. And, the biggest difference I see right now is the fact that we are involved in a change with the game, with the transfer portal and NIL. It's been what I think has been the biggest change in college athletics in my close to 50 years being in coaching. And I don't particularly like where we are with regards to that, but you have to deal with it.
Coach, I'll tell you, this feels like a team that has a stellar inside presence with your center, Essam Mostafa. He averages a double-double. He shoots 56.3% from the floor.
Can't ask for much more from that standpoint. When you get a double-double, shoot that percentage, it's really good. It's important that he gets the ball as much as he can. He does get a lot of traffic. He gets double-teamed a lot, so he's got to make sure that his reads are there. And, he's been with us now for 3 years, and, he's such a valuable asset to us.
Mm-hmm. Coach, what has been the recipe for commanding such a balanced scoring attack as 6 players now are averaging from the 15.3 points of Jomaru Brown to the 7.9 points of Jimmy Nichols?
I think chemistry has a lot to do with that, being unselfish. You can't do that if you're playing selfish basketball. And I think the fact that we've been unselfish has allowed us to be able to do certain things within our system and be able to share the ball.
Let's talk about Jomaru a second. He's your leading scorer on the wing. He spent 3 seasons at Eastern Kentucky before coming to Coastal. How does his game set the tone for what you guys are getting in scoring and from your backcourt?
Well, I think that he brings a presence where he can get the ball to the rack. I think that's the biggest thing is he has that knack of being able to get in there. When you get in there, he can score, and he gets in there, he makes shots, and he also gets fouled, and he's the leading free throw shooter.
Tough loss on Saturday at Marshall, but Antonio Day scored 15 points. So he's your leading scorer. Talk about how he can come on and become a consistent double-digit scorer.
Well, he didn't join the team until I think the 19th of December, and that was late. So he's just kind of being able to find himself and get himself into the game. He's a point guard that really can get to the rack about as good as anybody. And I think just shaking off some of the rustiness to make decisions that are conducive for our team when he does get to the rack are the biggest things. He brings a lot of pressure on defense, and he can play at all three levels with the ball.
Josh Udije played high school basketball at Arizona Compass Prep. Is he more of a playmaker, finding his points?
Well, he's a long wing. He's a long wing, shoots the ball well, could put the ball on the floor, good passer. He's got length. Needs a little bit more strength, but he's got that length that you like. He's got like a 7-foot wingspan. So, that helps you in so many ways. And, he's been a solid player. He's been very solid.
Linton Brown is another guard. He shoots 41.8% from three, and he's a team leader. So how is his quality set him up in helping you find the three?
Well, I think you got to set screens for him. I think that he has the knack to be able to hit the three, and that's one of the strong parts of his game. But he's got that big body. He can take it in and go to the rack, and he can do some things, go to the boards. He's a wing player that is crafty, but he is our leading 3-point shooter. And with the way that we've been shooting the ball, he's been very valuable to us.
Defense against the three-pointer, you hold opponents to 33%, which is the top quarter in the nation. They don't find but 63 attempts per night in general. So what is the attack method there defensively?
Well, we're a man-to-man team, and when you're a man-to-man team, you guard your man, you get help when you can, but the least amount of help that you get, the better you got. So we just want to make sure that every shot's contested, and it's not easy.
Do you find, as being a man-to-man team, do you find your opponents trying to dribble drive, or is it more of a passing issue, especially in the Sun Belt?
Well, I think it varies. Various teams. Some teams want to dribble drive. Other teams want to move the ball. I think with 14 teams, Ken, you just got so many arrays of basketball. So you have to, some people are going to pound it inside all night to the post. Some people are going to drive you. Some people are going to ball screen you. Some people are going to pass, move, and screen you. You got to be able to adapt because you're going to see it all in this league.
Coach, you've got two more road games for 4 in a row. You're at Old Dominion and at Georgia State. It sounds like the NBA scheduled your schedule there, with so many roadies. When you have the back-to-back end of 2 games in 3 days, how do you work a scouting report from there?
Well, you do the best you can. I mean, you got to focus on the game next at hand. And then when you get to that second game, it's quick. I mean, it is quick. You play a night game, then you got a 2:00 game on Saturday. You got a night game. You get your guys up. Of course, tomorrow we'll be on a plane first thing in the morning. That takes time up. Then you got your workout time where you go, and you have to use the rest of the time just to try it. It's like a final exam with cramming. You cramming your final exam in, and you focus on doing the best that you can. But it's a cram issue.
Coach, your thoughts on the Sun Belt now, as you mentioned, with the new opponents in Marshall, Old Dominion, and JMU?
You got 3 teams in the top 60, and I've been around a long time. I will honestly say that I think that this league, with the 14 teams, can stack up with leagues like the ACC. There's going to be 1 or 2 teams in the ACC that may be a little bit stronger, but I would put our league up against any league that is a Power 5 league. I think that perhaps the SEC and maybe the Big 12 seem to have some dominance going, but our team is very good, deserves several teams in the NCAA, because what I'm seeing is no different when I was at Clemson, going to the Dukes and the Wake Forest and North Carolinas and places like that.
Last thing, Coach, we're in an analytics era in all of sports. So I was curious, which of you are most important to the Chanticleers and how you attack with the analytics in mind?
Well, I still believe that the eye is the strongest factor, but you definitely have to keep the analytics in mind because there's so much out there. I mean, you're going to know everything that an opponent does, how many times he has done this or done that. But at the same point in time, I still think the most important thing is the eye test. but you have to pay attention to analytics. It's right there in front of you. But you'll see things that analytics aren't going to show you, and with regards to the DNA of a player, how certain offense may work and may not work. So they're both important, but I do still think that the eye test is huge and a very vital part of what I believe in.
Yeah. Coach Cliff Ellis, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite coaches. He's at Coastal Carolina right there in Myrtle Beach. Coach, it's a pleasure having you on here, and I wish you the best this season.
Okay, Ken, good to visit with you.